Welcome to Healing Your Life with Oriental Medicine with Anita Brown. It's a place where you'll hear about the alternative healing methods to improve your mind, body, and emotional well-being.
Hello, welcome to the show. I'm Suzanne Lynn with Anita Brown, and Anita joins us to talk about acupuncture and herbal medicine. Welcome, Anita. I'm glad that you're here today.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Well, today we're going to be focusing on one of the topics that's one of my favorites, and that has to do with pulse point. And when we talk about Chinese medicine and diagnosing, pulse point is a really major thing when you come in that you want to do. Why is that?
Well, pulse point or pulse diagnosis ties into acupuncture. It gives me the ability to, I guess, by palpating, to envision what's going on within the system itself. I mean, I listen to the patient and they tell me their symptoms, and those are very subjective. So It's more, I'm coming at it from an objective standpoint by taking the pulse, because I can really understand what's going on. The pulse tells me what's going on. It can't lie or
be deceived.
Be deceived,
right.
Yes.
What's interesting is that it makes so much sense, because there are times when I'll say something's hurting, but that's not the root of the problem. You know, I'll say my thumb is hurting, and you're like, okay, well, here, let me touch this point on your back.
And it might be on the opposite side of the body or the opposite end of the body. And yes, there's such a thing as referred pain, but that's not even it. There is just, the body is such a complex system that the pulse ties in all that information and gives me a good background of what's going on.
So you can get a general idea through the pulse. How many things can you diagnose or get an idea of? I mean, it's more than just heart rate and general blood flow, right?
Right. We diagnose stress, GI discomfort or GI issues, chronic pain. We can diagnose mental disorders as well as sleep problems. Anything that has to do with the body and any physical ailments, anything that Western medicine can diagnose, we can diagnose with the pulse without going through the whole routine of x-rays and things of that nature.
So I'm going to give a little tease here. There is something really cool that she can give you an idea about just through your pulse, but I'm going to save that to the end because you have to listen all the way through. But it's worth it, believe me. You're going to be like, no way, that's so cool. But when we talk about diagnosing and, it's more than just even general health. Like, I remember coming in one day and I had calmed down by the time I had come to your place. I hadn't mentioned anything, and you said, did you have a stressful morning? I'm like, yes, how did you know? I mean, it's amazing because, again, it's more than just the heart rate, because it had been several hours. That had calmed down. There's something that's lingering going on more.
And the stress quality that I'm feeling in the pulse is that tight, wiry, almost like I'm feeling a violin string. When you get stressed, and it is true, even in Western medicine or science has defined that stress causes a constriction of blood vessels. And that's why stress can lead to heart attacks, because all the blood vessels constrict. And I can feel that in your wrist pulse.
And even when you're talking about possible cancer, I mean, there are things that aren't sitting right that you might not say right to the client sitting in front of you.
Correct.
But you can sense something is going on. You actually have a story about that.
Yeah, I have a story regarding a patient who I was treating. She hadn't disclosed that she had had cancer, but as I was feeling her pulse, I felt this muffled quality where the blood really wasn't flowing. It was almost regurgitating backward. And so I thought to myself, oh my God, she is a candidate for cancer. And as soon as I thought that, she said, by the way, I've had breast cancer. And that's when all of my issues started.
No kidding.
So we tied it back and working with her with herbs and acupuncture.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here, and then we're going to get to the other side where we get to the really cool comment that you made earlier.
What you asked.
All right, hang tight. We're coming right back.
Anita Brown Acupuncture and Herbal Medicine is all about healing your mind, body, and emotional well-being with traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM. From chronic and acute pain to arthritis, IBS, digestive health, inflammation-related autoimmune conditions, insomnia, colitis, depression and neuropathy, and even infertility. TCM can treat a variety of symptoms and more. And the hundreds of herbs Anita is educated in not only treat symptoms, but boost nutrition in the body. If you're tired of being in pain and feel like you've tried everything, this is the time to call Anita Brown Acupuncture and Herbal Medicine and find out more about the healing ways of acupuncture and herbal medicine. Easy telehealth options are even available. Call Anita today at 352-231-2000.
Hey, welcome back. Suzanne, Lynn with Anita Brown talking about acupuncture and herbal medicine. And today we're putting the spotlight on diagnosing and finding out more about pulse points. And we've talked about kind of general in the first half of the show. I want to talk more about specific organ diagnosis.
Okay, organ diagnosis. So the pulse has 12 primary points on it that I diagnose, which are associated with 12 different organs. There's the heart, liver, kidneys, lung, large intestine, small intestine, stomach, spleen, and gallbladder.
Wow.
So,
and you feel each one of those when you're actually assessing the quality.
I'm assessing the quality so I can tell where there's a disruption in the body, in the homeostasis of the body in one of those organs. And we always associate with an organ dysfunction. Wow. With organic, the organ itself may be dysfunctioning, or the emotional component of the organ, because each organ, let's say the heart, has the emotional component of emotions in general, well-being. The mind, it can be racing or disshuffled, like, having anxiety.
And the effect that has on the organ.
And it has on the pulse in that position, that organ position.
It's very interesting because how many times do you hear about something horrible happen to somebody and then they come down with an illness, a physical illness? It happens, it's jolted almost through emotional, and then it manifests itself physically.
Correct. There's such a thing, and we diagnose it as heart shock. When a person has heart shock, you can feel that over the entire pulse, meaning in every organ system, every pulse position, you feel that shock that has been sent through the system. And heart shock is, or can be, a precursor to severe pain, lifelong chronic illness.
Mm-hmm. Divorce, the loss of someone close to you. A
loved one, yes. Yeah. Or just emotional trauma.
Wow. And this is just one of the things that separates traditional Chinese medicine from Western medicine. I mean,
Correct.
You can't really walk into the doctor if you go, would you do a pulse diagnosis for me? Are you crazy? But I mean, this is thousands of years old, and it's proven over and over.
It's proven over and over. It's very, for a practitioner, it's much subjective on my end too. I have to sit with a lot of pulses before I can be definitely sure I'm feeling what I'm feeling. But once you become accustomed to that, you notice those differentiations within the pulse right away. So it's very easy, but some people just don't feel comfortable, or some practitioners don't, so they don't utilize the pulse.
Sure. Okay, so now we're at the part I've been teasing the entire show. You made a comment before we started filming that you can actually tell the sex of a baby through a pulse point sometimes.
Yes,
I want to hear more about this.
Well, this was told to me through one of my practitioner friends who's very good at taking the pulse. And she would be able to I can differentiate if a woman is pregnant. Okay. And she says she can differentiate the sex of the baby depending on what quality she's feeling in the kidney positions.
Wow.
It's pretty intense, yes.
So what would you say to someone who's never had a pulse diagnosis before and, might be curious what's going on with their body? What would you say to them?
I said, come on in and give it a try. It is amazing because I can tell past issues as well as present and future issues if things were let go and go on the same course as they are now. And that's why people come in and they're pretty amazed about the pulse diagnosis.
I'm a little obsessed with it. That's why I'm like, we have to do the pulse diagnosis next on the next show. So thank you. Anita,
You're
more
welcome.
information, people want to get a hold of you, how can they do that?
They can do that through my website, AnitaBrownAcupuncture.com, or you can contact me via email, AnitaBrownAcupuncture@gmail.com.
Gotcha. All right. Stay tuned. Hey, by the way, just go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you know when more shows are coming. And more importantly than anything is tell your friends about the importance of acupuncture and Chinese medicine and how it might be able to heal their chronic pain.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Healing Your Life with Oriental Medicine with Anita Brown. Please feel free to call her with questions that you may have at 352-231-2000 or visit her website at www.anitabrownAcupuncture.com. We're thrilled to be able to share stories and insight as to how alternative Chinese medicine may help improve your life and decrease chronic physical and emotional pain. And please be sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a single episode. Individual results may vary, and our advice is not a substitute for medical advice from a physician. Please consult a physician before making any changes or adding to what has already been put in place for you.